welcome again to our English News edition. These are the headlines. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, chaired over the meeting of the Councils of Ministers on the draft law governing mining activities and presentations on several economic sectors. We will focus in this edition on the economic potential and development prospects of the mines in Tisim province. On the international scene, we are shedding the light on the situation in Gaza as the third day of the truce comes to an end. Aid is still a rare necessity to find for Palestinians. All details later on. Track Algeria Trail is back for its second edition. Runners will enjoy the Algerian desert in a race of no less than 180 kilometers. Welcome back. First of all, the President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, Abdelmajid Tebboune, chaired today a meeting of the Council of Ministers on the draft law governing mining activities and presentations on the opening up of the capital of two public banks, the terms and conditions for granting industrial land for investment projects, and the assessment of the compensation operation for fishermen. Manal Maafa gives us the following statement.
After the opening ceremony, the Prime Minister presented the activities of the government over the past 2 weeks. The President of the Republic then gave the following instructions and guidelines. First, concerning the draft bill governing the mining activities, the President of the Republic assured that the mining sector is a strategic one in Algeria, directing the government to postpone the adoption of the aforementioned project with a view to enriching it further and involve specialists and experts to prepare for the opening of the mining sector to the Algerian operator. As Algeria is experiencing a dynamic development in the industrial fabric, capable of exploiting this wealth and raising its performance as part of the national development dynamic. Concerning the presentation on the opening up of the capital of two public banks, the President of the Republic insisted that the opening up of the capital of the Algerian Popular Credit and the Local Development Bank require a total compliance with modern management rules, as this operation aims to involve the private sector in the management of these major financial enterprises, in economic decision-making, and in the creation of a competitive climate favorable to the bank's customers. Opening up the capital of these two banks should boost investment and the job market, so that these two institutions can be transformed into model financial institutions offering efficient and high-quality services. The President of the Republic insisted that the reform of the banking system must be part of a modern, global and integrated vision capable of capturing the capital circulating outside the banking circuit, so that 2024 will be the year of a far-reaching banking reform. Concerning the terms and conditions for granting industrial land for investment projects, the President of the Republic has ordered the government to introduce more facilitations in the opening system of the agency specializing in the granting of this type of land, far away from all administrative and bureaucratic obstacles, the aim being to fight corruption and facilitate the work of economic operators. The new National Investment Agency should include among its tasks public or private land pockets, preserve them and manage them as part of an economically efficient vision likely to accelerate investment. Concerning the evaluation of the compensation operation for fishermen affected by the floods in Tipaza province, the President of the Republic assured that the state will not abandon its children whose property is affected by exceptional circumstances induced by natural disasters, and that the solidarity dimension of the state is a fixed principle. Regarding this issue, the President of the Republic has ordered to find the mechanisms to ensure that such cases are handled in the future, especially through insurance companies and the authorities specialized with overseeing such artisanal activities.
Whether the outcomes of the Council of Ministers meeting and on the basis of a clear and forward-looking economic vision and the priority given to the mining sector, we will focus today on the economic potential and development prospects of the mines in Tisim province. Najat Tayar.
In Tisim province, the Buqaid mine is providing good quantities of the mineral barit for industrial use, after being treated in several stages by qualified Algerian workforce.
We are here in the northern workshop that is 1,150 meters above sea level. Here the research and exploration operation begins. The mineral baryte is used in several industries such as the petroleum, plastic and textile industries, also in ceramic and glass production, and also used in medical applications for X-ray and radiation therapy.
Considering that the mining wealth being one of the pillars of the national economy, the Buqaid unit works on meeting the national needs of this substance and later on to export it. This qualified unit is working day and night to contribute in the local production, thus the national development.
The annual production of Buqaid unit is estimated at 25,000 tons. This unit has 3 mining licenses, and to increase their substance reserve to 1,600,000 tons. L'Akhdar mine is going under expansion operations thanks to the efforts and the importance that the President of the Republic grants to this sector.
Improving the production factors and exploiting the mining assets with Algerian workforce is an impetus to the national economy development.
Facilitating access to industrial land is one of the most important aspects that the authorities are focusing on. And to achieve that, a large national program for the creation and the extension of an industrial activity zone is launched. Example this evening from Al Maghir province, where several projects are underway. Rania Al-Bahri has the full story.
The local authorities of Al Maghir province are currently working to bring together all the conditions to create an attractive climate for investors, through in particular the expansion of existing activity zones and their developments.
We have dedicated industrial land made up of 156 exploitable plots ready to accommodate new investment projects.
In this favorable environment where strong competitiveness reigns, investors are working hard to improve their productivity to meet a constantly growing local and national demand and aspire to position themselves on international markets. Some have already been able to break through one way.
We export to several countries including Russia and Ukraine, Mauritania and Kazakhstan. There are a lot of facilitations from the state who encourage us to work more to present an Algerian quality product.
Al Maghir province therefore opens widely its doors for investors to fully contribute to the national economic recovery, diversify economic income and reduce the import bill.
On the third day of the humanitarian truce, a truce that will last 4 days only between the Palestinian resistance and the Zionist occupier, another exchange of hostages took place this Sunday. Women and children were freed. On the other hand, the Zionist army has targeted again the West Bank and killed 8 Palestinians. It also prevented 1.7 million displaced people in the south from returning to inspect their homes. No less than 15,000 Palestinians, including 6,150 children, have been killed and injured by the Zionist attacks since October 7th. Najah Tayyar with the report.
Under the humanitarian truce between the resistance and the Zionist occupation, a third group of hostages have been released. The Zionist army announced that the Palestinian resistance movement handed over 14 Zionist hostages and 3 foreigners to the International Committee of the Red Cross. According to the ceasefire agreement, a total of 50 hostages belonging to the Zionist entity will be able to return home in exchange for the release of 150 Palestinian prisoners. During the morning, the Zionist occupation army targeted the Ghazawi people who came to inspect their homes and belongings near Al-Quds Hospital and the Indonesian hospital, causing 7 injured. This is not the first time that the Zionist occupation forces have violated the terms of the humanitarian ceasefire agreement that came into effect on Friday. On Saturday, the truce was almost compromised by the Zionist drones flying over certain areas of the Gaza Strip. The Palestinian resistance movement confirmed today the death of Ahmed al-Ghandour, a member of the Hamas military council, and 3 other Hamas leaders killed by the Zionist army. The Palestinian authorities condemned the attacks of the last 24 hours, which have already claimed the lives of at least 8 Palestinians in different areas of the enclave and the occupied West Bank. The humanitarian situation thus in Gaza remains dangerous and in need of an unprecedented long convoys of international human aid that continue to enter the Strip from the Egypt to meet the urgent needs of the population, bring in medical aid and other essential resources to alleviate at least the suffering of the Gazawi people who are plunged into a total destitution.
Hate crimes against Palestinians went even beyond the Palestinian borders. In the U.S., 3 young Palestinian men have been shot near university campus on Saturday evening. The students were identified as Hisham Awatani, Kinan Abdul Hamid, and Tahsin Ahmed. It should be mentioned that 2 of the victims are currently receiving intensive care. The Sahrawi President, Secretary General of the Polisario Front, Brahim Ghali, warned of Morocco's expansionist and aggressive policies that threaten peace and security in the region, reaffirming the permanent readiness of the Sahrawi side to cooperate and coordinate with the neighboring countries to counter the risks and establish peace and stability in the region. This was in a speech amid the opening of the 3rd ordinary session of the National Secretariat of the Polisario Front. In Morocco now, while the Moroccans are strongly against normalization with the Zionist entity, and this is embodied once again through the demonstrations to denounce the numerous ties established recently between the Zionist occupier and the Makhzam regime. More insights with Rania Bahri.
In Morocco, a wind of revolt is blowing in the streets. Moroccans massively reject the normalization of relations with the Zionist entity. Demonstrators express their opposition to this political approach, while strongly denouncing the attacks perpetrated by the Zionist occupation army against the Palestinians. Moroccans in the streets firmly reject these attacks, echoing a feeling of solidarity with the Palestinian people, expressing their disapproval of any form of normalization with the Zionist entity. These demonstrations do not only denounce normalization with the Zionist entity. Moroccans came out to denounce the Makhzam policy and the increase in the cost of living. Despite their peaceful nature, these demonstrations were repressed. This firm reaction from the authorities under the tensions between the aspirations of the population to express their concerns. Demonstrators seek to make their voices heard in the face of socio-economic and political challenges.
Back in the country, as it will host this Tuesday the 2nd edition of TWAG in Timimunu province. The first athletes arrived today, as no less than 60 ones representing 10 countries will participate in this trail running race in our beautiful desert, a race of no less than 180 kilometers. Best luck for them. Right, that was it for today's news. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.